are here. Is this everybody? Did we get everybody in? I hope there's nobody still standing outside in the rain. Is it raining?
Yes.
Hello, sweetie. You guys, this is my favorite. You know, I'm not a stage person, so I'm gonna come down there with you, okay? I know the lights are set for the stage, but is this okay? You notice I went back to puffy hair Vic instead of spiky hair Vic. How many of you guys were at the fashion show? If you weren't at the fashion show, you spared yourself a painful sight. I was all spiked out and the black dot eyes and stuff.
Visual K.
Welcome, Portland, to our world.
Visual K. Vic.
All the guys in the room were like, oh my god. That's okay. Oh my gosh, I love your shirt.
Thank you very much.
Italia.
Yes, we beat us.
Bene, bene. Grazie. You thought I said Italia. I said Italia. Stand up. Italy. As you know, land of pasta. This poor guy here is. Let's see if we can make his ears bleed by the end of the show. You guys, can I tell you something? This is my favorite hour of the entire convention. Let's see if I can get by these speakers without making them run. This is my favorite time because it's my chance to... It's okay, sweetie. Oh my Lord. Be nice. There are adults in the room. Don't let them think you're in trouble or anything. Sing that girl. You guys, this is my favorite chance to have an hour to just talk with you about things that OMG. Okay, hi guys, welcome. You don't think we would start without you, did you? Well, we did. You haven't really started yet. Are you guys enjoying the convention so far? Okay, while everyone's continuing being seated, I have a couple of things I need to tell you, okay? First of all, a lot of you guys wrote me and asked me if I would bring my music CDs this weekend. A lot of you guys may or may not know that I've been writing and producing music for twice as long as I've been voice acting. And I've got 6 different music CDs, and a lot of them have anime-related songs on them with a lot of variety, but there's one in particular I have to tell you about, because it's so nice. This is my new CD, and I have to tell you why it's special. I spent a lot of time trying to get permission from the Japanese who owns some of the songs from the animes that I've done to let me record them in English. No small task, I can tell you. But this CD, this new CD, is all up-tempo, remix, club mix, high-energy songs. Some of them originals, but guess what's on here? The Brothers theme from Oh, wait a minute, it gets better though. See, you're probably thinking, how can I repay you back? Right? And you're thinking, okay, you said it was a high energy club thing, and that's a ballad. WTF thing. Well, the version that's on here is not, how can I repay? And then there's the angel theme. probably thinking, darkness of light you can't. No, no, no. And then finally, my lovely Tamaki song, Guilty Beauty Love from Oregon High School, and again, High Energy Up-Tempo. And all three are on the CD. And I'll have all the CDs of the autograph session, and if you'd like one, I would be honored to sign one for you. If you'd like 6, I will sign all 6 for you. And give you a kiss on the cheek. There's some father in the room right now going, hey buddy, you keep those lips to yourself, fella. The other thing I want to tell you about, I've got several things, but something else I want to tell you about. Several years ago, and you may already know about this, and you know what? It might have been right after I left AnimeNEXT, but several years ago, I wanted to do something to give back to the fans. You guys have been so kind and so supportive of my work, and I wanted to do something as a way of saying thank you to you. So I thought, well, what would be a better thing to give to you than something that's precious to me, right? So, what is very precious to me, if any of you guys have done any Googling on the interweb, you know that my faith is very much a part of my life. It's a foundation of my life. So, you know what I did? You know what I did? You know what I did? Oh, gee, you know what I did? I'm giving the cameraman conniptions back there. He's like, I can't follow him. Can you follow me?
Yep.
Where's the cameraman? You know what I did? I spent like 6 months recording the entire Gospel of John on an audio CD. Now wait a minute, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh wow, Vic. Just what I always wanted. Edward Elric reading the King James Version. Now, that might be actually pretty cool, so don't be too hasty in your judgments. However, I use a real contemporary translation. It's very much the way that we talk nowadays. A lot of people are like, that whole Bible thing is so flowery and lofty, you know.
And great was the wrath of the Lord.
Well, this version says, and God was pissed. So, well, maybe it doesn't say pissed, but, and then I put little voices to the different characters, so it would be a little more fun to listen to. It took a long time to record. And then when I got done, I thought, what can I do to make it even more fun to listen to? So you know what I did? You know what I did? I went back to the very beginning, and I played the piano underneath the whole thing. So it has a really nice underscore of hi. It's a really nice underscore. Hi. It has a really nice underscore of music underneath the whole thing. 21 flippin' chapters. It's long. There are 2 discs in here because it won't even fit on one disc. And I made these, and some friends of mine all put a lot of love and time and moolah into making these so that I could give them away to you for free. So, here's the plan. I'm going to have these at the autograph session as well. They'll be on the table, and if you'd like to have one, you may have one. You may take one. All I ask is if you take one, please listen to it. Don't take it just because it's free, you know what I mean? And if I run out, you can download it for free at www.RisenBullRangers.com. How many Rangers in the house? And if you're not a Ranger, why not? Let me extend a personal invitation to join. Are you a Ranger? Yes? Good, I love you. Are you a Ranger? What? It's free to join, and you will instantaneously have a family of about 14,000 anime fans around the country. So, would anyone like this one? list so I wouldn't forget. Oh my gosh, thank you. She just totally said what's on my phone. A lot of people at autograph sessions always ask about ringtones. They're like, hey, could you record like Edward doing a ringtone, or would you record Tom and me saying something from my voicemail? So I thought, well, rather than do that 1,000 times, I made a whole bunch of them and put them on iTunes. So you can see them there. There are like 15 or 20 of them. Ikaku from Bleach and Broly. And Tom Mickey. So you can check those out. What else? Oh, how many of you guys are singers? You know what else I get a lot of times I get people writing me and asking me, where can I get a track to sing one of your songs? So I put a whole bunch of karaoke tracks on iTunes as well. So if a lot of people write me, they want to perform something for their school, or for their church, or for a community program, or for a talent show, if you're interested in doing that, you can get karaoke tracks on iTunes. Also, I'm ashamed to say that I finally gave in to the pressure and I joined Twitter. This may have been a very bad idea. What do you think? Probably a bad idea? Well, I won't be twittering pictures. Well, not those kind of pictures. But I would like to invite you guys, if you kind of want to keep up on what's going on, I will be posting stuff all the time. So you can follow me on Twitter at Vic Mignogna, okay? And I think we're good. I think it's time to just talk with you guys. Now, can I say one more thing? Guess what I'm doing Monday? OMG. I am going to get to record something that I've always wanted to be a part of. And you know what it is? Pokemon! Can't believe I just did that. But here's the bad news. The bad news is that I got sick last week, and my voice, you can probably tell, my voice isn't back to normal. And I am going to give you guys every ounce I can, but I have to have a voice for Monday. To wait all of this time to get the chance to be a part of Pokemon, and then to show up at the studio with no voice, that would be bad. So I'm going to ask you guys, please have mercy on me. Not to ask me to do any yelling lines. Please, no Broly, no Kakarot's, no short rants, please. Now listen, hey, you know how much I love you, right? Don't you know? Here. Do you know how much I love you guys? Do you know? Do you know? Okay. I love doing stuff for you guys, and I would scream my little brains out if I could. But I've got to have a voice left by the weekend, so please bear with me, okay? All right. Okay, who's got a question?
I hate asking this because it says actually the voice thing, but can you do the I'll do whatever it takes to get your body back that head?
Oh, wow. You mean that scene from that, wow, really? The scene from that episode? Really? You know, I actually do remember it, but okay. She's referring to a scene from Full Metal that I've often said was the very first time that I actually shed real live tears recording that show. You might be surprised it was not when Nina died, because I was still kind of new to the show, but then a few episodes later comes the Bury the Chopper episode. And at the end of that episode, oh my gosh, I was so moved by the end of that episode. When Ed was doing the scene where he's telling Al, you know, that he really thought he was gonna die, I was in tears in the booth. And that was when I knew that this particular show was a very, very special show. But she just asked me if I would do that little monologue for you. Would you guys like to hear that? Okay. Bear with me, because I don't even think I sound like Ed right now. But I do want you to do one thing for me. Will you do one thing? I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to picture Ed's little cute face. Not my old puppy hair face. Your eyes are closed. Close your eyes and I want you to picture Ed sitting on the steps with Al, okay? And I really thought he was going to kill me. I didn't have any hope anymore. Then you showed up, Al. And I realized that if we don't look out for each other, then no one else will. So I'll do whatever it takes to get your body back. Even if it means becoming a lapdog in the military. And we'll just have to hope that our powers are good enough to get us through. Because we're not gods. We're just humans. Tiny, insignificant humans who couldn't even save a little girl. The end. See, my eyes got wet again. I love Ed. I'm sorry. I love that shit. Hey, who's that question? Andy? Okay, you're next. Yes, Andy?
I saw you at ZenCon, but I asked you to sing Dragon Soul with me, but I was really nervous. Could you tour with me again? I'm really sorry. I didn't hear your voice. I'm sorry.
I don't have much left right now. I really don't. But I'll have to change keys. It'll probably have to be much lower than it normally is. Sure, you want to dance with me? Okay, stand up. We'll do a quick verse of Okay, do you have a good question? Is it a good question? What? You don't have to give me any presents. You just being here is the present. It's a big present. Good Lord. Really? Go over there. She's like, okay. This present is a bazooka. Here, Vic, stand here and hold this target. What are you doing, sweetie? What do you got? Hi.
This is a book made by Rangers.
Oh my gosh, this is a big present.
And it has like all the notes that
Show him. Can the camera zoom? Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Can you see all these amazing drawings? Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is an amazing thing, and it's from the Deviant Art Risible Rangers. Oh my. Thank you so much, sweetie. Oh my gosh. Keep an eye on that. Don't let anybody see
You
it.
got it, Vic.
Oh, it's little Mike. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. It's adorable. Okay, who's got a good question? Like a really good question? All right, here we go.
What's your favorite character role, like your voice actor?
My favorite character to play. Wow. You know what? I used to say I could never pick one because I loved so many, and that was true for a long time. But then you know what happened? The final episodes of Brotherhood. Oh my gosh. When I finished recording the end of Brotherhood, I was like, okay, I can't stand it. I can't resist anymore. And I love Edward Elric so much. So from now on, I have to say Ed is my favorite. However, right behind Ed, right on his coattails at number 2 is Tamaki. I just love him so much. I love him. Who's got a question back here? Is this a good question? You're not going to embarrass me, are you?
you thinking when you made that commercial? You know, the one about J-Rock and Karuga Mesh.
Well, that's just an awesome question. The answer to your question is that, do you guys know what he's talking about?
Yes.
Well, in a nutshell, very quickly, I was asked by Sakura-Con in Seattle to make a video, commercial for their convention coming up. And they gave me a list of all the things that they wanted in the commercial. And they wanted somebody, we decided we were going to have a sushi bar, and there were going to be all these people sitting at the sushi bar who represented a different thing at the convention that you could see. Some would be a cosplayer, some would be a J-rocker, some would be manga, some would be the Japanese tea parties. One was this guy that said Garuga Mesh. Well, I don't really know why it caught on. I don't even know why it caught on, but it became this weird, crazy, viral thing where everybody was yelling Garuga Mesh and making videos about Garuga Mesh. I don't really understand it. Hey, but you know what? I do have a great commercial for you to see. You got that commercial queued up for me, bro? I told you I would show this to you, so put this on screen and turn it up. And I hope you enjoy it. Make sure it's on screen before you get it.
That's right. Now you can have your own version of one of the world's greatest anime voice actors.
I was waiting for an action figure that you absolutely everything, and I finally found you. I take Todd everywhere.
With all that styling and meticulous detail, you'll swear that Todd Havercorn is actually in your hands. But wait, simply tap his tiny crotch and you can make it. You guessed it, your Todd Havercorn action figure comes complete with dozens of lines from some of Todd's best known characters. Alan Walker.
Hi, my name is Alan Walker. My name is Ling Yao, the 12th son of the universe. If we play along in this
And even Todd himself.
I'm so glad you came to the convention. Here's my hotel room key.
It's their Todd Havercorn action figure.
I do.
I know I do.
I know I do.
I know I do. I know I do. Other voice actor dolls can cost up to $200. True that. The Todd Havercorn action figure can be yours for only crazy payments of $89.95. Here's how.
Additional terms and conditions apply for sale. Also available in Metro Home and please not drop.
So that's the Todd Havercorn commercial that I told you guys about yesterday. Can you buy it? Yes, you can buy it. No, you can't. Someday I'm going to put the one and only Todd Havercorn doll on eBay and see what happens. Okay, who's got a question? Let's see. What are you? Is this Black Butler? You look awesome. Oh, looky! Oh, it's a life-size Edward. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, he's so cute. I love him so much.
What was the funniest experience you ever had while recording for like any anime, like any like bloopers or like mistakes or?
The funniest one ever? Oh my gosh, that would be hard. There have been a lot of pretty crazy things that have happened. Wow, funny. Let's see. You know what? This is so childish. I can't believe I'm about to tell you this. We were recording a show. How many of you know the show called Air? Right? Oh my gosh, what a beautiful show, right? It's beautiful. So I was playing this character named Yukito. And Yukito is he's a homeless guy, and he meets this girl named, oh my gosh, her name is right out of my head. Yes, Susan. Anyway, so we were recording Air, and and Yukito's asleep, like laying out on the ground somewhere. He gets up and he starts to climb up this hill. And he sits down on this park bench. And we were watching the scene, and I don't even know why he did this. But just for fun, right when he sat down on the bench, I went, and the director started laughing. And then I started laughing. And then we did the whole scene, where as he was walking, I was going, and then like he's trying to fish something out of the river, and we started making up lines about him having this bean burrito that he found in the river. That was why he was so gaseous. And that's why they call the show Air. So I know that's kind of lame, but we laughed a long time for that. Hey, before I forget, you guys, I have something to show you that I think you're really going to want to see. So don't let me run out of time without showing you. We need about 15 minutes. Oh, I also had an announcement. I want you guys to know that if you inadvertently came into here thinking this was the Power Rangers panel, Robert Axelrod is doing his Power Rangers panel tomorrow afternoon. So he asked me to let you know that, and I promised Robert that I would. So I just remembered. Thank heavens. Okay. Is it a good question? Is it a good question? Is it a jumping up and down question? Come here. What's your question?
Actually, it's one little thing. Can you just say it? What should we call it, a leprechaun?
It's for you. It's for your birthday. Who you call a leprechaun? You guys are so funny. Hold on, we gotta spread it out now. Okay. You are adorable. What's your name? Hi, Maggie. Okay, I'm sorry. She's too adorable. I have to hug her. So adorable, Maggie. Oh my gosh, look at her. Turn around. Look. Oh, what's your question, sweetheart? What comic book line would you like, dear Maggie?
I was doing some videos online, and your favorite one was like, how are you bringing Congress comic?
Yeah, you know that part? You want to do it? Oh my gosh, is she the cutest thing ever?
Yeah.
We are going to perform a scene from Paul Run High School Ghost Club. Okay, she says she knows the lines, so here we go. Ready?
I'm afraid if I drink this coffee, my father will yell at me.
What if I let you drink it? From my mouth.
Yay! Give Maggie a hand! Oh my God. All in good fun. Parents, all in good fun. I always zero in on the adults in the room. And they're like, yes. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. What's your name? Hi, Sabrina. It's nice to meet you. What is your question, sweetheart?
If I was a customer at the Ghost Club, can you treat me like a comic book would?
Stand up. Turn around. Oh, my darling Sabrina. If only I could find the words to tell you what is swelling in my heart, the feelings that I haven't can't contain anymore. You are a princess.
Oh, thank you. Did you do this? Thank you, Sabrina. I love it. Why is Tommy keep crying? You made Tommy cry, didn't you? I'm just kidding. This is beautiful, sweetie. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I see Yuki. Yuki, what is your question from Vampire Night?
Well, I actually have 2 questions. First, can I talk?
Always.
And what was it like playing Zero from Vampire Night?
Oh my god. How many of you guys have seen Vampire Night? The rest of you, why not? It's a great, great show. You know what my favorite part about playing Zero was? Playing his brother Ichigo. I have to tell you a funny story. What was your name? Alex? I have to tell you a funny story, Alex. When I auditioned for Vampire Night, I auditioned for Kaname, and I auditioned for Ido, and I auditioned for all these different characters, and I auditioned for Zero as well. But what's funny is, when I got the phone call from the director saying that I was going to be playing this character, he left it on my voicemail, right? So I'm listening to this voicemail, and he says, Vic, I just wanted to let you know that you've been selected to play Zero and Ichiru for Vampire Night. And I was like, who the heck is Ichiru? I was like, I'm playing Zero, but who's that other guy? And it was then that I found out that Zero has a twin brother. And you guys, for an actor, that's like the most fun ever. To play characters that actually talk to each other and fight with each other and beat each other up. I loved it. So Zero, and how many of you know, you may not know this, but the voice actor from Japan who played Zero also played Tamaki. So his name is Mamoru Mayako, and I will tell you something. I'm talking to some friends of mine in Japan right now. We're trying to get him to come to a convention with me. Would that be awesome? Because I'm like this old American guy, and he's this young, hot Japanese guy. So I figure we kind of have the spectrum covered right there. So, okay, listen. I want to show you something, and I know you're going to want to see it. So I don't want to forget and run out of time. Okay? Let me tell you what I want to show you. And before I tell you this, I need to ask you: do not videotape what I'm about to put on screen. Okay? Now. I want you to respect my wishes here, because I want people to see this at conventions like you're getting to. I don't want them to see it on the internet, all shaking around from 20 feet back and the sounds bouncing around. I want them to experience it the way you're getting to. I have never sold this video. I've never put it online. I only show it at conventions. And I don't even think I showed it here when I was at AnimeNEXT 4 or 5 years ago. If I did, there are a lot of new people here. Let me tell you what you're about to see. You ready? Very shortly after we started recording Full Metal Alchemist, and I started really falling in love with this show, I thought to myself, I wonder what would be a plausible story whereby a grown man, i.e. me, could start turning into an anime character.
Ooh.
So I made up this little story idea. And then I thought to myself, you know what I've never seen? I've never seen any voice actors cosplay as their characters.
Woo!
So the wheels are turning now, you see. And I'm starting to get an idea. It's formulated. So then I decided to write this little story. And then I contacted a whole bunch of the other voice actors from Full Metal Alchemist to ask them if they would like to be in this with me. And they all said yes, and they all made their own costumes. And we all got together in Houston, Texas on one weekend to shoot something called Full Metal Fantasy. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. I showed it for about a year, and I only showed it at conventions. And it started getting really popular. And then Funimation called me and they said, look, we don't want to make the Japanese company that owns Full Metal Alchemist upset that we're making some live action thing. And I said, well, no, you didn't make it, I made it. And I made it purely as a fan thing, out of love for the show. It promotes their show. I don't charge money for it, it's just for fun. I mean, how many other anime shows can say that they've got voice actors who love the show so much that they're actually making a live action where they're dressing up as their character, right? Not many. So Funimation said, yeah, we understand that, but we don't want to make them mad. So we want you to not show it. Well, I work for them. So I said, okay, and I put it aside. I tabled it for like years. Years, nobody saw it. I kept it in my laptop case. And then last year, somebody from Funimation, my dear friend Sophie, called me and she said, if you promise to let me know when you intend to show it, you can start showing Full Metal Fantasy again at the conventions. So, that's what you're about to see. Sound man, I want you to crank this thing up, make it movie sound, and from that first disc, if you would please, select Full Metal Fantasy. Can we kill the stage lights? I said we can kill the lights. Can we kill the lights? Yeah! So that's Full Metal Fantasy. Did you enjoy it? We had so much fun making that. It was so much fun. It was freezing cold, and when we started the rain machines and everyone got soaked, the funniest thing, you guys, we're taking a shot of the homunculi walking toward Ed, and they're being all mean, they're not going to kill you, they're going to... And as soon as I said cut, they went... They're like they were melting. Poor homunculi. You guys, before I forget, I have to tell you something very important. This was something else I wanted to tell you. If any of you have done any research about me on the internet, you know that my great passion in life is Star Trek. I'm not talking about the new movie with those punk kids, and I'm not talking about Next Gen or Deep Space Nine or Voyager or blah 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 blah. I'm talking about the original series with Captain Kirk, Mrs. Spock. I love that show. And I want you to know something. This fall, I'm going to be directing an episode for an online web series called Starship Farragut. So you guys need to check them out. And then, at some point very, very soon, a bunch of us have gotten together and we are starting a new series where I'll be playing Captain Kirk. So, I gotta tell you, I'm jazzed beyond words. So if anybody ever says, have you ever cosplayed? I'm like, yes, all the time. Last week, you guys, I was at the Phoenix Comic-Con, and guess who was there? Yes.
Kirk.
Leonard Nimoy. Mr. Flippin' Spock himself. So the convention chairman said, what do we need to do to get you to come to the convention, Vic? And I said, you know what you need to do? You need to let me introduce Leonard Nimoy at his Q&A session like this. So imagine this, only like 4 times this, and I walked out in full Captain Kirk uniform. Because I'm a nerd. Believe me, you are in good company. Now, let me see, how are we doing? Where's our...
It's 5:24.
Okay. We have about 10 more minutes, I think, okay? So I know, I should start asking for longer Q&A sessions, don't you think? Because I would love to just chat with you guys as much as possible. Come here, Okay, who's got a good question? Black Ranger? Lay it on me.
Yeah, I was wondering if, did you enjoy doing the Broly during the Dragon Ball Z movies?
There's a Broly guy right back there. You know what? I loved Broly, but Broly didn't love me. Yes, it was unrequited love, ladies and gentlemen. I loved Broly, but he was so hard on my voice. Oh my gosh. All of those Kakarats and power-ups and going Super Saiyan. Poor larynx. My larynx is gone. Now, what is your question?
When is that new Full Alchemist movie coming out?
Well, you know what? I heard that the Full Alchemist movie is going to be released in Japan in July. Which means that I expect that we'll be doing it very, very soon after that. So you guys keep your eyes on. Did you see the trailer?
Yes.
There's a trailer online, you guys, and it looks all steampunky and stuff. Very cool. Very cool. Yes, ma'am.
I was wondering, did you enjoy working with Kristen Glass and Auron?
Oh my gosh, yes. Auron was one of my favorite shows to record because I fell in love with the show before the show was even licensed. Somebody gave me a disc and they said, "Here, you should watch some of this." And I did, and I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I just fell in love with Tamaki, which you shouldn't do if you're an actor. Don't fall in love with a role before you get cast in that role. So I was like dying to play Tamaki. And I went into audition, and Caitlin said, "Okay, we know who you want to read for. Go ahead, do Tamaki." So I did my Tamaki audition, and then you know what she said? "Do you want to audition for anybody else?" I was like, "No, I just want to play Tamaki." So I auditioned for one of the twins, and I auditioned for Kyoya, but I wanted to play Tamaki. And so when she called me and told me that I was going to get to, it's one of the happiest moments in my voice acting career. Yes, sir. See, you never thought I would call on you way back here, did you?
How was it playing Kakashi?
I'm glad you didn't mention that. How many of you guys been watching Kakashi? If not, why? That seems to be a recurring theme. You enjoy it? I love Kakashi. Hey, there's a cosplayer here. Where are you? Where's the Kakashi cosplayer? I saw her here, and she has her own Madarao, her own spirit doll. It's amazing. But you know what? I love that show. I love Laura Bailey. She's amazing as Tokine. And I have to tell you a funny story about Kakashi. If you have not seen it, my character has this spirit dog that floats alongside him, all right? And it doesn't have any arms or legs. It's just a dog with a body that goes to a point. So we started calling it a sperm dog. Now parents, that's a medical term. They've heard it already in biology. But I would text Troy Baker, because he played Madarao, the dog. And I would text him and I would say, "Hey man, I just doing a recording session with you, sperm dog." And like I'd record lines where I would call him sperm dog instead of Madarao, and we would leave those for Troy when he came into the studio. And he would text me, "Thanks a lot, sperm dog, really funny." But I love Kakashi, and I think it's an awesome show. Yes, Lee.
You were one of the people that first got me, and I was close-minded when I was younger, and you really got me into even drawing because I first started drawing Full Alchemist art. So do you think I could get a picture of, like...
Absolutely. Will you take this picture really super fast? Come here. Smile! Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. You guys, hold on a second. I think we're running out of time. Where's my staff guy? Is he here? Hey, listen, I was asked to make another announcement. Right after this panel, I believe Production IG is having a panel. And then I'm doing an autograph session. And you guys, as long as I can possibly hold out, I will stay there. So I know they're scheduled usually for an hour, but forget that. I'll stay as long as I can. Okay. Mr. Staff Giant says I have 1 minute left. Is it a good question? You sure?
First off, let me say represent. And while doing Brotherhood, did you find anything between the discrepancies between the first Full and Brotherhood to throw you off the wall?
You know, that's a great question. And what's your name? Let me tell you something, Patrick. You know what? When we started Brotherhood, Patrick, I was kind of worried. I was like, oh my gosh, what if it's not as good? You know? What if this, because the first series was just so awesome. And we didn't think we'd ever have to do another series. So when we started it, I thought, man, what if the music's not as good? What if the story's not as good? What if the characters aren't as good? What if it just doesn't turn out as good? And then as soon as within 3 or 4 episodes, I was so in love with Ed and Full Metal all over again. And a lot of people ask me, which one do you like better? The first one or Brotherhood? Well, to me, in my mind, it's all one Full Metal adventure. Okay? Now, if you see them differently, that's cool. But for me, in my mind, it's just a huge adventure. And when I started Brotherhood, this is new cities and new characters that Ed is meeting, and new places that he's going, but it's still Ed and out. And it's just the further adventures of the Full Metal authors. So I kind of see them all together. So I could never really pick one series over the other. And you guys, I'm supposed to wind this up now. I have to, because we've taken all the time we can. But I want to say one thing to you. And I want to get someplace where I can see you all. I'm going to take 30 seconds to tell you this. Are you listening? I want you to know how much I love you guys and how grateful to God I am for the privilege to do what I do. I enjoy so much interacting with you guys. You know, when you're performing on stage, when you're doing a stage play, there's an audience, right? And when you do something powerful, the audience will gasp, or they'll clap, or they'll laugh. But when we do what we do, there is no audience. There's nobody there to give us any gauge on what we're doing, whether it's moving you or not. So to get to come to conventions and interact with you and find out that stuff that we've done moved you, or helped you get through a difficult time, or encouraged you to pursue some talent that you have, whatever it is, those moments and those experiences are priceless to me. I adore you guys, and I pray God blesses all of you, and I look forward to meeting you guys, hopefully, at autographs if possible. And I'm glad you guys came.